It's okay. I leave it in there one day and then I switch the side to the other side because if the lightning comes out, it's got to penetrate, run my wiring, drip the water from here, run down here through my nose, and I can stick up my tongue and taste the salt. So I smoke a little weed because it's good to have a little ganja. Ganja, jaja. Let's talk. GUN 3.75. Do I like to joke around? Of course. Of course, I like to joke around. Ganja, 3.75. The gun, the magnum. I have a new equation today that I don't know why this passed over my head, but the numbers that are involved by not doing the original equation has actually helped me to understand a lot more, which the equation comes from this. 74 times 74 equals to 5476, 1111. LOVE is 83. Okay, 83, 54, love. So now I get this. Now I'm going to add 148. Now that's in Lachute. Now I didn't say ganja to send you to Lachute because we're not talking about 5624, which is a calculation. That's Aleph in the mind, which is a calculation of 75 times 75 equals to 5625. 7-11, the game of craps, in which the game of craps is everything around 7. You shot through the 14. I mean, this is so exciting for me. And I don't understand 100%. But what I can show you something new is this new number I came up with. 75 times 70, 75 times 77 equals 5775. The gateway of the egg to the heart of the creation of the design that I've been doing over and over and over is right here. 77 times 75 equals to the year we're in. That's nuts. That is nuts. Now you want to see something even crazier? Take a look at this. 76 times 76 equals to 5776. The moon thrice. F and G, the fag. Everybody knows the fag is the bearing that turns around and around. You know it's a fag. You want to see what the fag looks like? That's a fag. It's a fag bearing. It's got little balls, right, and a big heart on in between, turning the system round and round. And I know because we celebrate it every single year. We know, see here, he's on a pogo stick, right? He's on a pogo stick, da-doing, da-doing, da-doing. I didn't finish doing this design because I'm not sure what to do yet. There's just so many things in my head that I can't choose any of them at all, or I haven't chosen. The circle is 50. The square is 91. SQU, 38 and 19. The church and the spirit. R, the letter R, the word R, equals to 24, the cat in the hat. The circle, take away one of these C's. We don't need 2 C's, we need 1 C. Just a 1 C. This is 47. This says the sky in the first 2 letters. This says the key of the sky is the circle in the sky. Where the time is run by the apple of the stars, where the orange comes into the effect, 110 stories of the Twin Towers. Apples and oranges. Add 12 to it, 122 times 3, 366, 636, and we're back to the last creation of the famous 1026, notably by the Green Arc. Yes, the Green Arc. That's where I learned this from, the Green Arc. The car, C-A-R, A-R-C, all the same thing, right? 3663 becomes 3 and 3 is 6. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 6336. 3663. 4114 DNA, or 1440 minutes in a day. But if you don't hit that extra minute, because you have to touch the last minute of the last day to come into the next minute of the other day to say we connect together in the days. You take the cord and you make a loop around to the side and you tie it up. And you take the cord from that side and you turn it around and you're turning it around the hook. That hook takes space. You need more cord to tighten it around. And you know what the crazy thing is? That if you're going around in a circle, then if you only go 120 degrees, 120 degrees, 120 degrees, you ain't got a circle. You got a triangle. You got an angel who tries as hard as a tree just to jump out at 5:55. But I was thinking about horses right now. You ever see what a horse looks like? He's like this. He's like this. His backbone, I mean, he's really standing like this. You ever see the length of his head? The length of his head is my height. It's 5 feet long. Well, I'm just talking about his head. I'm not talking about his, not the shaft before the head, because you ever see what this looks like? The horse's head is like a fish. He doesn't need a girdle, he needs a bridle. And you saddle him. Usually when you saddle something, all right, I know, when you saddle something and you get on a horse and it's always like this, like this, like this, they say it's better for the girls. The guys, their rockers are divided. But that's okay. Because this next new world, we have to have fun with everything we do. 76 times 76 is this year. April 7th. April 16th. April 25th are the marker days for the moonlight. Why? Because April is the 4th month. 0, 4, 6 equals 4. Add 6 to 4 equals 10. 0 equals 6x to equals the 16. So the 4th month becomes the 16th month, or the purple ball. And at the same time, the purple heart and the purple ball is 4. That's DC. 1 and 2 is 3. That's DC. The purple ball comes together. How do you mix colors to get that ball? Because then we're going to have another story. I don't want to get into it right now. That's been my problem. Every time somebody mentions something and nobody's talking at all, then I see something move and a flash goes in my eye and I wake up out of bed from a dream and I talk about something completely different. Action reaction. Thank God for my psychiatrist. He taught me that many years ago. Unless you feel and think that I'm still on one, I shouldn't even say that. And then you can go and believe what you wish. But they told us from what the first thought is. The long plane recorder. For those who didn't see, the shovel, the LP, or the mountains, or the peak, or the spade. P, P-E-A, P in a pod, iPad. 2 spas. We sweat. 2 spas. We are going to sit a spell. Or what are you going to spell? The spade is the pel. This is a shovel. Shovel says L. It says her. But if it's a shovel, it also says the I. So what does that mean? To shovel the I. I'm trying to figure it out. It also says to divide. Because Turkey says 3, it means take 2 and put 1 in the middle of 2. If you take 1 in the middle of the 2, the 1 in the center is to the side of each one. The middle gets 2. But I am now next to the center, so I get 1. But if I go around the other way to get where I wasn't separated from, is the middle in the middle, or are we now 3? Do you understand? If you get in between here and here, right? But what if we're like this? You get in the middle here, and then you get in the middle here. We separate on both sides, right? First once, then twice, right? And where do we see that? We see that right over here. We see that right over, where's that 0? We see that right there, right? But if I turn it over, we've now split it on 2 C's and connected 1 C. It took only 1 number from 35, right? This became, from 36, it took 1 number to go to 37 and took another number to go to 38. Now we're completely separated and we're going in a circle. This is the line of numbers. Do you have the lineup? Yes. Oh, batter number 2 is coming up to the plate. 2-0 in the 20 world. This is 28. 15 is the egg. 16 is the light. 12 is the I. 28, 9 is the birth. 26 and 34, and 26 and 74, and 26 is 100. 100 equals 0, 0 equals 616 equals the light. Why do we split 13, 13? That's your JJ, Jaja. Now, I said something in my last video that I forgot, something to do with JA, and it wasn't just Jack. Okay, I don't remember what it was. 54 black, the number to the sun, to the 9 birth creation. 6 and 3 is 9. 9, 11. 7, 9, 11. 26 is next to 7. 26 is next to 32. That's not a 20. That's a 26. That's a ring. There's more things involved in there. Somehow it seems like the keyholes go out this way. There's a distance. This is the wrong thickness. You can put many things in empty spaces in here. The dartboard is the same way. When you put a key and you turn it, nothing gets in anybody's way because they move up. They move up. You turn the key and you're moving everything apart. So nothing is running. You're not pushing anything over. Rover, Red Rover, let come over. Oh, baby. All right. So this is your 0 and your double 0. Now, if you really take a good look, okay, I'm just going to read it off the top of my head and not in order. 11, 13, 15, 17, 20, 22, 37, 37, 31, 31, 20, and 11, 31, 32, 17, excuse me, I'm going to do this other number on this. See, 17 and 14 are in between the zeros. That's another 31. Now, why? 1 and 4 is the beginning. It comes from before 1 and 4. So we have to understand how we get all our 31s in here. Then we're going to have to get all our 37s or 37s or 31 and 37s or our 39 or our 30 or our 39 and our 37s and our 30. So this thing is like they sat there. They didn't just put every second one black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red. They didn't do that. And they knew they had to separate everything. This is a separation of 9. This is a separation of 9. But this one's only a separation of 7. But this one's a separation of 5. And this one's a separation of 7. And this one's a separation of 9. And this is a separation of 15. Unless we start to calculate. 8 and 2 is time heaven. 2 and 8. 8 to 8 right over here. Inside 36 and 7, the gateway of the birth. You're born from out to in. Father takes the sperm, he puts it in the egg. The mother says, I'm ovulating, because she senses it in the mind, because she saw it was sent a message from somewhere else. She doesn't feel it because how can she know she's ovulating? It's her first child. It's something she feels different. She knows it's from somewhere else. What do you think? Do you think there's a chance that in evolution, oh yeah, look at that, we became human beings and like I'm ovulating, like I fucking know. Excuse my language. Because we came so slow into evolution that we're going to figure it out. And I'll tell you one thing. I am 15,000 days old. And I forget sometimes. And I remember sometimes. Okay? But if you think that I can feel because this world is not connected to us, or was it just, oh yes, over the period of evolution, but nobody has the answer since the beginning of time that they can deny the reality of the thought. The reality of the thought of 7 billion people getting online and putting up crazy pictures that we laugh to because we can see the same reality. or a reality that we don't see that's so different, we'll comment in opposition to it, or we will question it. We are been driven. There's 75 numbers on here. You can barely see the different size in that black. And if you can look at the black, it's a strap. It's a strap. Do I have my scissors here? No, I don't. I should, but I don't. I don't have this in here either. Ah, found something good. Now, can you just wait a second? Just wait there just a second. I've got tea boiling. I'm going to take myself a tea. We're going to stretch this out. Is everybody ready for a tea? Yeah, let's go get some tea. I even have a little bit of my lunch here. Okay. I'm going to go. And we're going to do this. Although I probably have 10 scissors. This is what I'm going to show you. Watch this. You see the circle, right? And the square. And the castle. I know this is going to probably turn out really hard because it's very, very small. I should be able to do it online. But we're going to do it right here. And yeah, by the way, I did take that little puff of that thing there, right? You don't know what it is. And yeah, it's very nice. It's a very, very nice. It's very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're going to stop after this just to show you what happened. This is going around the gear right here. Inside of here. Turns the gear. I know I didn't design. Now, when you look where number 10 is, excuse me, you see this one over here? You see the way it's halfway between the two? You see this one over here, the way it's halfway between the two? You see this one over here, the way it's halfway between the two? And this was halfway between the two? Well, take a look on this side. There is no halfway between any of them. 37, 37, and then 16 and 29 is 45. 10 and 18, 10 and 8, 18. 10 and 31, 41. 10 and 16. 10 becomes 16. Now, if you take a look, I ended at the double zero, so that's one of the reasons I'm there. So the zero, the light, begins in number 27, which is creation, 6 times 3, showing that 6 times 3, which equals to 18, plus 6 and 3 is 9, equals to 27, saying it's coming from the secondary world of Aleph. 2 times 7, 2 plus 7 is 14, and 9 again equals to 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 equals 6 and 5, 11. So now what we're going to do is this. We have this number over here. It looks like 3 and 1. I don't know what this is. This one looks like 9, 11. This one looks like 7, 13. Okay. What's good about this one here, okay, is this. Is we have the same number on the other side. This number over here, 6, right? We have the same number on the other side. 31. This is number 8, right? We have number 8, the same number on the other side with 29. 8, 29 between here and here, right? This one is the 29. 2 and 9 is 11, is 8, is 19 the spirit. This one here is 8. So the 11 becomes the 8 becomes the 11. The 29 on the other side is 11. 11 and 8, and 11 and 8. So if they just put the numbers like that, these numbers are not just separated because of the board. It's very easy to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip. This is more than a skip. This is a vibration or an element, the movement in the skies or galaxy that we live, or the movement of the constellation, in order to separate the numbers this way. But in order for me to ever really have any reality in this, okay, this is an exchange thing until it's understood, and only can be understood mathematically. And then the mathematicians or magicians will say, that's like that's 1 chance of 300 trillion in the universe that somebody can figure this thing out by mistake. And the people will then say, well, I believe, just like Darwin, just like not Einstein, because Einstein had a proof for it because he did it. And the greatest word about Einstein is relative. What's relative is a 5. I hold your hand, you hold my hand. It's 5, your 5, my 5. In between is the nothing. But when the hands meet in between, it's everything to both sides. Or the reality that surrounds. It's 360 degrees, whether there's an opening or not. If there's an opening and we need a north and south pole, we will have 3/4 of something. Any more than 3/4 will start to make it weak, or we'll close the hole completely. It's the 30th, and I think we had fluffy snow today. I'm not going to go out, not for any particular reason, but I believe the snow that's coming down now is winter chemtrails. They're just trying to clean the old sky to bring in the new sky for the summer. So we'll get wind, high winds, and some rain, and it'll continue to wash out the sky. It'll go into our drinking water, but that's okay. Then we'll bring in that new summer sky. We'll start it in springtime and get it right there up into the sky so we can, like this summer, this is going to be a summer of skies. I'd like to know what the sky clouds are going to do or what they look like this summer. Because when I was younger, I remember the sky. I remember how fluffy it was and separated. Like, that was the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look at the sky. There's a cloud in the sky, and I got a shadow on the ground also. Like, what's real? Real is what you can do with the moment. The Federation of Alephet Gimel has come flat and multiplies. And when she multiplies, she also adds, and then she becomes the life that turns around 8 corners, all different angles and separations, where 2 are constantly held. The closed side and the open side. See the 3 within the hold? Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I must make sure, I must completely make sure that I don't go manic and out of control or depressive, because those are the rules. You know what I was told when I first walked out of the hospital? Don't speak to this one, he's crazy, and don't speak to that one. If you need to understand something, go to the doctor. I remember that was like a strict order. Don't speak to the others. Why not? Maybe if they're nutty enough, they won't act kind to us. That is a different story in communication. It has nothing to do with the act of talk. Is it because I'll set something off in them that they'll trip out? Well, maybe you should set a spell and try to figure out how to calm these people. Understanding that because we are born from outside this world, when you have a fetus inside of you, that's all you have. You have that and what your mind thinks. If there's a child that's born with some sort of deformation and all of a sudden the brain doesn't work the same, and for some reason some of the blind people, okay, but many that I see in certain formations, okay, there's only a few categories that I can notice, and I notice they all seem to be the same in their certain category. The same with the mute people, the ones who have sign language. So I can see this because it's a formation from within the system and a formation from outside the system that it does its best to reorganize because they made a mistake inside the planet Earth of creating that body, one of the bodies, like just the way the same thing they do, the medication and the medication. In 20 years from now, there will be something that comes out, and the problem and the cause of this hardening disease will all become the reality of the drugs we take today. One of them is Seroquel. I am so fried on taking 120 or 150 milligrams of Seroquel. I am taking 90% less medication today than I was 10 years ago. And although I feel a little stress inside of me, I do not like to say I put a burden within my body and within my mind to get something done, to make sure I don't leave anything out, to make sure I can learn as much as I can. And I know I'm missing and I'm seeing things and it means more and I want to be able to share it. And it's not possible to share it all at one time, not within one word. Because the only word you can say is the word heard. And that's what you can share. And I want to paint because I see ideas that I can get into. I'm not looking for sorriness. It's just invigorating. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But again, 10 years. And yes, if you're with anybody, it's very hard. But when you're alone, it's very hard. When you're, I mean, not alone. I'm talking about working on it. Just working on what you have to do. And big time for sure, you have to get out of the house. But you know what? Like, who wants to get out? I've got ideas. I got to put them down. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hello? You're shitting me. No way. You got a new idea? Well, come on over. Let's share it. But I'm starting to get nervous because now I'm going to learn from what you learned. We're going to keep on learning and sharing. And oh my God, we can't share it all. It's going to end. We got to go to bed. Oh my God, I can't wait to get up in the morning and share it again. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Enjoy the mode.